Maybe. Like, I forgot last minute to change the title on here and on a restream, but I took the time to do it. Well, we have the rules. So hello, if this is your first time here, my name is Shira, I'm a comic artist, and what I usually do on these streams, I talk a little bit about the artistic stuff that happened normally to me, but if I didn't do much, I will cover briefly anything artistic that happened recently, and then we move on to the main course, which is drawing the webcomic Bootleg cookie. I am currently fidgeting with my... Hi Paul, I'm doing okay. I was in terrible shape yesterday. I had my vaccines on Friday. And then, hi Coco. And then we had to bring Lily to the vet. She's fine. She was diagnosed with fat and dramatic. She's fine. Right now she thinks she's being punished forever. No, she's just on a diet. And I was about to say I'm a little distracted because I am fidgeting with one of my pen rests. It's a little gashapon super muscle guy, usually used as a weight to put on the lid of your instant noodles while it cooks, and then you use this part to rest your chopsticks on it, and I've been fiddling with it because it's a gashapon, it's in 2 pieces. But me, I use it as a pen rest while I'm working, because it is absolutely hilarious. Look at his Choaniki ass. He's got gigantic hands, teeny tiny feet. It's not even the one that I had ordered. This guy is old. I've had him for a long while now. And I had ordered a completely different model doing a sit-up. It's not even the same gashapon, you can tell because it's not the same sculpting. You love Mom's Lily a little bit too much. Yeah, Mom's not the problem. Mom is not the problem for the fat part, and it's not me either. And we'll leave it at that. Because the real reason Lily is fat is also very dramatic. So, but yeah, I'm not mad. I got this one even if it was not the model I ordered. And I double checked with the image and everything once I received them, and I was like, that's not what I ordered. Like, this guy is doing a completely useless push-up instead of the guy that I had ordered doing a working sit-up. But like I said, I'm not even mad. This is even funnier. So artistic-wise, I'm not gonna name names, but I would guess it is fairly easy to look it up if you really need names. Mostly because the names already left my head. I do have ADHD. It doesn't count if it's self-diagnosed. Trust me, I am cartoonishly ADHD-ish. Like, even I find it ridiculous how much ADHD side effects or symptoms that I have. The drama part, I mean. Well, in Mom's defense, Lily had been, like, repeatedly pissing and shitting inside the house. And she would yelp whenever my parents tried to pick her up. And then she would hobble on one of her feet. And I was like, look, just bring her to the goddamn vet so we figure out if she's got something or if she's just fat. Turns out she has something, she's just fat. Like, there's been bumps and lumps on her that Mom wanted to get checked out anyway. Guess what? So, there's been an artist who got commissioned to do some furry art, which they did. And then the commissioner ran that commission through AI to lightly animate it. And then when politely asked not to do that, they doubled and tripled down, pretty much insulting the artists, saying, of course, the good old AI bro excuses, AI is the future and you're all going to hell because apparently they got bullied by the local art gang. And that's another thing. When I said that analogy once in a Discord chat, I got corrected, saying, well, art gangs don't exist. And I'm like, yes, that is the joke. Like, sir or madame, or do they? That's why it's a joke. It is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous concept. Speaking of fat, dramatic animals, sister, the chunk princess, likes me now. Yesterday she didn't like to be ignored, so she came up for pets. Good for her. Taking matters in her own hands. Modern problems require modern solutions. But there was a twist to that recent story. Because the artist, who was greatly disrespected by having their art ran through AI to animate it, turns out, and then again, that is literally just stuff that I've gleaned off of YouTube videos because I like drama. Let's not pussyfoot around it. I am a horrible person. And this is all allegedly, well, on the artist's part, because the commissioner was being a complete asshole and reveling in it. The artist turned out the artist traces AI art, and they got caught because when they sent their time lapse to somebody, there was like one frame where you could see that they were tracing on top of a piece. And then people started investigating, and they found that a lot of the artist's art was damn near identical to a lot of AI generated art or other people's art. So now we got like an iceberg going on. It does not change the fact that the commissioner was being a complete butt about it. So now you gotta put in your TOS to not run your art into true AI. And that's another thing, because then you have AI bros saying, yeah, well, I can bypass Nightshade and Glaze if I trace the art before I run it through AI. And we're all like, oh my god, you are so close to getting it. You are so close to getting it. Like, you are literally forcing yourself to somewhat do art. You are so close to getting it. Like the width of a Pooh Bear. That's how close you are. It's close. It's close. So yeah, now we got an iceberg. We got the commissioner who ran the artist's art through AI, but then we find out the artist is tracing AI images. So it's kind of an inbreeding of art, quote unquote. And if anybody's worried, if any of my art ever comes out as AI generated, it is not my art. The only thing I run my art through is Glaze. At worst, I will put some textures or some filters on my art to make it look better, but not through an AI program. It all goes through Clip Studio Paint. So if my art ever comes out as AI generated, your AI detector is either broken or somebody yanked my art, ran it through AI, and fed it to you to go and get it checked on an AI generator detector. There we go. Use the actual words, you French idiot. So yeah, that's a constant problem. So I didn't really have time to do anything artistic yesterday because honestly I was fighting for my life trying to stay awake. While I'm saying that, I'm going to move some windows over up here so we can get started on today's comic, which is pretty much a funny what if. I was having a conversation with B, and she tends to be like mom a bit, like she will blurt out the first thing she heard or assumes, and it's funny. But if I can avoid it, I'm not going to, where the frick is my camera? There we go. If I can avoid it, I'm not going to talk about AI art every live stream. Wrong camera. There we go. Because then I would be just as annoyed as you guys. Because here's the thing, okay, it's not that I don't understand how AI works. I completely understand how AI works because of course I did the research. I got ADHD. I'm gonna do research whether you guys like it or not. I love to look up shit. But I hate it for like so many more reasons. So it's not a thing, well, you should learn it anyway, it's the future. You know what? You know what is industry standard? Photoshop. I don't use Photoshop. And yet, here we are. You know what? You guys remember what was big for a big long while? NFTs. And now nobody's talking about them. So we're kind of waiting it out is what we're doing. And if it stays, it stays. Problem is, everything about it. And like trying to go online in general. It's like, use AI, use AI, use our new AI, use our newer AI, use our AI for this. Thank you. On Facebook, I've got a notification. You got new fans. Thank them with a Gen AI image. I am literally an artist. I do not want to thank my fans with an image I didn't do. I am an artist. I think I bruised my face with all the AI. I'm talking about in a couple of seconds there. But yeah, if there's something that I just can't stomach is peer pressure. Like pressure in general, I already don't like, but peer pressure. So if that's one argument, and it's probably why scammers don't really work with me, because scammers tend to cold call. Cold call is a force of pressure. And it just sends my whole body into a rejection mode. Like I'm just like, stranger danger. Like right now on the Vine Art, they have a new fashion. That's all, folks. Son of a BB, son of a BB, son of a BB gun. Y'all thought I was gonna say son of a bitch, didn't ya? That is an actual animation. Look it up. Now, as for when I tried shark, I told B that it was in Marineland, but for all I know, it could have been in Nova Scotia instead, at another location. But I know the act itself, I tried shark. And I don't remember what it tasted like or the texture, but I think it was kind of like an oilless sardine. But I am zero sure. I'm gonna try to make B as feminine as possible. And by feminine as possible, I don't mean that in real life she's not feminine. I mean in this simple style. Because if somebody is feminine between me and B, it's definitely B. I've had swordfish, but not shark. You should always wear her hair in braids like that. And her favorite character is Pachako. Or legally distinct Pachako. the way immediately she said it. You ate a shark? How big do you think shark are? And how big do you think my appetite is? But yeah, yesterday it was the day like after the vaccines, and bringing Lily to the vet, and the first day, the day of the vaccine itself, wasn't so bad. The day after, oh my goodness, I was gone. Like, I was fighting for my life, trying to stay awake. Had my jabs Friday. Yeah, like I had a little bit, like as expected, I had like a little bit of cold symptoms, and I fixed that up real quick with a non-sponsored cold 911 tea from David's Tea. Not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor me, go right ahead. Like and subscribe. I just had another idea for a horror short. I'm not gonna say it out loud. But I gotta do these shorts. So one thing I could do is once 2025 is over, I could put Bootleg Cookie on an update whenever I feel like status. The comic has been going for 10 years. I mean, I do these like to have memories, to keep memories intact, but at the same time, I'm starting to run out of memories, and I'm not making new ones fast enough. It's pretty much all routine at this point. Like, I would still update the comic, but it would be when something notable happens instead of every week. Smack would still be going. Smack, we're not even talking about Smack. There's no problem with Smack. I will keep going as long as the scripts and money is coming. But if I put Bootleg Cookie, like, starting 2026, if I put Bootleg Cookie on an update whenever schedule instead of weekly, then I'll be able to do something else weekly and work on other comic projects. And then see if I'll stream, work on these projects or not. So if I do that, what kind of content would you like to see weekly instead of Bootleg Cookie? Would you like to see me do art? Would you like to see me do more requests, but like live requests instead of like you have to be in chat and participate to have your request drawn, instead of me collecting them the day before the stream, like with the color challenge? I'm gonna make her... There we go. I'm gonna lean her... Because here's the thing, okay, I'm short, she's tall. Yeah, that's a bit more proportionate. And don't worry, I will re-ask these questions on Patreon. Like, literally a lot of comics are doing that. Like, Boom went on for 10 years when she decided to make it an update when she feels like it, and she can do her books. And yeah, I would like to tell other stories too. And I would like to make Bootleg Cookie an actual book on Amazon. And I believe retiring Bootleg Cookie from a weekly to a sporadic would help me with that. What do you guys think? I'm the Joel. Hi, Joel. You'd probably have to pick and choose what goes into hard copy. That's a lot of material. Hello to you. Yeah, but I was thinking of doing a volume per year. Because I am not putting, like, the entirety of Bootleg Cookie into one book. There's no way in hell. It's gonna end up being as thick as a Taschen book and as expensive. Always like the idea of BC collected. And Mom has been asking for a hard copy of the comic for years. Probably gonna put a poll up. How is Before Chrysler collected? Joel fait pas exprès, tabarnak. Cheerio on the shark. We're discussing retiring Bootleg cookies so I can make a collected edition. You guys know what is the most tiresome part of streaming? The Discord scam calls. Shiro officially jumped the shark. I had another one recently. Because they will send a friend request and then start a conversation that looks like they might be interested in what you're doing, but then they will steer the conversation a certain way. Like, by the way, it's your favorite stream moderator, my birthday tomorrow. Yes, everybody wish Coco an early birthday, because I don't stream on Mondays, and the bib just slayed me. Well, I mean, let's be honest, I like seafood. 1,000 Years Bootleg cookie. Oh man, even if I was immortal. People who know me know that I have an incredible affinity for seafood. I even joked with B later, like an attendant would come to us visiting the aquarium and like, and what would you like to see first? And I would be like, the menu. Like I have said before, if it swims, it's going in my stomach. Hi, Ronald. Looks like someone is hungry. Oh, BJ Tinch. Assuming I'm pronouncing that username right. Tinch is a regular reader of Bootleg Cookie. They comment on every single comic. So yes, scammers will pretend to get on a conversation, try to know you, and then they'll try to steer the conversation towards whatever the fuck they're selling. And then, like the one I got recently, they started, do you stream? That's correct. Do you stream? And I'm like, yeah, I stream. And if so, what game do you stream? I don't stream games, I stream art. I stream art too! I'm sure you do, buddy. I'm sure you do. How many viewers do you have? Usually on a good day, 3. On a really good day, 5. Which is true. I don't have a lot of viewers. I restrict my viewership because I have been plagued by Russian bots. And I'm trying to avoid little kids coming in here because sometimes I will cuss really bad in several languages. I'm not quite as old as Shiro, but same ballpark. Thank you, I think. I don't care. This acne says I'm young. And then you start, oh, you're doing well. Oh, yes, 3 to 5 people. I'm doing fantastic. I've been at this for several years. I got 120 views. Fantastic for you. And then they keep asking me about my stream and my views. And I'm like, sir or madam, I literally just told you that I'm using live streaming to keep my ass in gear, to keep this comic regular. I'm not trying to make a career out of streaming. I'm trying to make a career out of my art. But no, the answer is, have you considered doing a Sapphire campaign? A Sapphire campaign? What kind of MLM language are you using to try to get me to buy your product? And I'm like, is this an ad? This sounds like it sounded like an ad. And they're like, no, I'm just trying to help you. You don't know me from Adam and Eve. Our one joint server that we're both on is Pretzel of all places. And I don't post on Pretzel. I'm just on Pretzel's Discord to keep up with news. Now I gotta read the chat a little bit. One of the advantages of having a small viewership is that I can actually keep up with chat. And I don't have anybody get mad at me for skipping chats. That is correct. Do you think that Sonic the Hedgehog fans should check out other Sega series such as Phantasy Star, Panzer Dragoon, Space Harrier, Shinobi, Virtua Fighter, Virtua Cop, and Yakuza? If they feel like it. Like, I'm a Mario fan, I don't give a shit about Metroid or Star Fox. I like Phantasy Star, but I never get far in them. think it's a mix of the graphics being too contrasty for my eyes. And, like, I'm trying to think. I think it's Phantasy Star 2 that's on the Genesis Virtual Console. I think it's 2 or 4, but I think it's 2. But I'm really not sure. One of them. Like, I am completely stuck / lost in a dungeon. And I completely gave up on it. But I like the idea of Phantasy Star because at least you're in the future for a freaking change. Like, more future word in Final Fantasy VII, if you know what I mean. We are both 1980s models. Ow, that hurts my little kitty ears. We don't look middle-aged though. Shiro's still adorable and Shiro says I am. So there's that, and Persona, and Shin Megami Tensei. Like, I don't follow Sega as much as I follow Mario. I'm not even gonna say Nintendo because, like I said, there's a lot of franchises that they have that I don't follow. I don't follow Pokemon. Like, that's too many critters at this point. I used to. I like Pokemon. But I got red and blue, and that's about it. I got a couple plushies. I really don't care about Metroid and Star Fox, like I said. I like a little Kirby here and there. And I like Zelda and I like Mario. I definitely have more Marios than Zeldas. But I am better at Zeldas than Mario. Go figure. Just making sure I didn't miss that. Okay, good. Star Ocean by Square Enix and Trius is also known for being a sci-fi, sci-fantasy RPG. I agree that Pokemon's become too convoluted to keep up anymore. Oh, I love Star Ocean. I actually have recently gotten First Departure R on the Switch, and I do have a second story in my wish list. And I just need to level up a bit more because I think I'm like at the end, if not really near the end. And I tried to beat the boss where I'm at, and I got absolutely decimated because that cheap bastard is way too fast and chains his attacks. But apparently I have to do like I had to do with the Time Worm in Dragon Quest XI, and I have to level up and get some specific armor to counter most of his moves. And I'm like, I'm too old for this. So right now I'm just replaying Brothership. But I did enjoy First Departure a lot. But it does tend to be a little convoluted because I've been playing, like, when I play a game for the first time, I would like to, you know, play the game, not go right for a guide and stuff like that. But with First Departure, I was like playing. Something should be happening here, and playing and failing and playing and failing. Then I go and check a guide and, oh, you really should have gotten this character instead of that character. Oh, well, now you're telling me. I didn't know I had a choice. It turns out that a character I missed is important for, like, a lot of stuff, on top of being really strong. Now, if I keep talking about First Departure, I'm gonna sound like I hated the game. Because there's a lot to complain about, but at the same time, it's a really good game. I played it because I enjoyed it, not because I wanted to see where the hell this train wreck was taking me. Looking at you, Tecmo's Secret of the Stars. And I remember renting and playing Second Story when I was a little NB. And I did enjoy Second Story, and I tried the demo on the Switch, and I still enjoyed it, so it's in my wish list right now. For those curious, I do have Nintendo cards in my Throne wish list. If you want to help support me. Considering that we were both born in the 80s, Dragon Quest had to be called Dragon Warrior in the US and Canada due to trademark issues. This was also the reason why Sega had to call the Mega Drive the Genesis in the US and Canada. I'm bagged that one in a seltzer can. And he couldn't get it himself? Was he like stuck in the garage doing something? I hope. Also, we are up to 24 or 34. Like, that screen is really small for my old people eyes. Let me see if I can... 24%. Okay, there we go. We are 24% funded on the current goal, which is Suikoden 1 and 2 for the Switch. I have the, I don't want to say Asian. Well, it's not the North American. I technically can still play it in North America, this version, but it's, well, might as well say it. It is an Asian version because I think it's like China and everything else around it version, because one is cheaper than the North American version, and two, the North American version only has English translations, and this version is not only cheaper, but it has Spanish on it. And you guys know I've been playing games in Spanish to help me learn it the way I used to learn English when I was little by playing RPGs, because all our games were in English at the time. Yes, even in Quebec. Yes, even if there were laws. I'm not questioning it. I'm just glad I had English games to help me. I actually prefer the SNES original over First Departure. Another Star Ocean game worth checking out is Blue Sphere, and it got... for the Game Boy Color. I'll be honest, I did try playing the SNES original. But I never went, like, really far in it. Like, I think I went to the second village and that's it. Because I think I was, like, visually stuck somewhere. And by visually stuck, I mean everything looked the same and I kept going in circles. Because I couldn't get my bearings at all. and I recognized which village I was lost in Departure because it had the same tiling on the ground. And I was like, oh my god, I got lost this early? I know, skill issues, it's my fault. Also, for those that are waiting on the previous gift that I received from you guys, from your support, the all-in-one nib from Tom's Studio, if all goes well, knock on wood, I should be getting that tomorrow at the earliest. We are waiting on that, and I believe I will do a little unboxing video for you guys and see if I can make it work. It's going to be a first try, so it's very likely that whatever I draw with it is going to suck, but that's normal. Tom's Studio was nice enough to send me a little tutorial with my order. So, and I starred the tutorial in my mailbox, so we're gonna be studying a little bit at that too. And then we'll be unboxing. The Disco at Lavender Town track is back. I'll have to take your word for it because I don't remember the names at all. I downloaded this playlist and then I used Audacity to chain all the songs together so I could use this as a playlist. And it's doing what I wanted it to do. Because I have yet to receive a single copyright notice. I'm still here, but I'm cutting out some Zoidberg claws for Red Fleece. From Red Fleece. Sounds delicious. I sent a meme to Mom earlier. You guys are gonna love this, it's adorable. It's a sculpture where the mother and the father are full of holes, and the child in the middle is made out of the material from the holes of the both parents. And it says, my mother, who is graceful, my dad, who is disciplined, me, who is a disgrace. And Mom, because she has the exact same problem as me, she types too fast, says, you are not disgraced, you are the beast. And I'm like, you're right, I agree, I am the beast. And she goes, best, because she doesn't write lol, she types he, and I will never ever in my life correct her because that is the most precious thing ever. And I write like, no, you call me beast, I am a beast. Remember last time when you called me gender fluid? I am the beast. Trademark. By the way, I'm also a homebrew game developer. What else? Hang on. Developer. Grammar. Target platforms: Atari 7800, Atari Lynx, Atari Jaguar. Somebody's focused on Atari. Neo Geo, possibly Nintendo 64, Sega Master System, and maybe Game Boy. See, Ronald is doing it right. He's actually keeping a conversation going and not trying to sell a product or anything. And now he's adding a little personal info that might be interesting to those of us who like old consoles. I mean, I literally have a Commodore 64 back there, and a 128. All my consoles are plugged. Well, except my PlayStation 3, but my PlayStation 3 can't play discs, and I don't even have PlayStation 3 games. Don't ask, it was a hand-me-down. I do have a Game Gear that works, because I have the plug to plug it in the wall, because that... You guys thought Game Boys ate batteries. Game Boys at least had the decency to only use AA batteries. The Game Gear used D cells, I swear. And it's just like, oh, nom, 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 nom. The Game Gear eats batteries like Cookie Monster eats cookies. Nice screen, though. Lavender Town is the creepy ghost town from Pokemon Red and Blue and has unsettling background music. Will you stream your Fortnite gameplay? So the thing you guys should know about Joel is he's like a little baby troll. He's a wee little baby troll. Because he knows I don't play Fortnite. Joel is like G-rated trolling. Because he just kind of pokes every now and then and he stops if it gets annoying. He's like chaotic good. I just got the most random thought in my head. I wonder how hard it is to program for Vectrex. I never had a Vectrex. Was Vectrex UK only, or did they go to North America? I don't know. Now here's something. Like, I don't know if I've heard of people really trying to develop games for Commodore 64. I've seen a lot of people... Commodore 64, sorry, Nintendo 64. Oh, they are people still programming for Commodore 64, that's not a question. Nintendo 64. I have seen a lot of people do indie games with Nintendo 64 graphics, but something that will run on a 64? That's the question. And usually, most of the time, they're horror games. And based on Animal Crossing. And, yeah. Even Valle Verde, that is said to be like a PlayStation 2 game, is extremely based on Animal Crossing, let's be honest. That's the thing, like, in that case, it's like a creepypasta video series. I don't think they made an actual game with that. Kind of like Pets Cop. Pets Cops. I know they made game versions of Pets Cops, but the original Pets Cops, it was a series of videos. Another creepypasta style video with the Nintendo 64 graphics. I'm trying to remember. I know it starts with the Snow Inn, but I don't remember the name of the village. And it's basically you're in a village and it's snowing for the first time. And you go and investigate, and turns out it's not snow, it's spores, and all the villagers are infected and growing mushrooms out of any holes they have on their bodies. And in the end, you too, because you've been exposed to the spores. speaking of Animal Crossing, if any of you guys use Firefox or Chrome, look up the extension Animalese. You'll thank me later. I'm at the point that if you make a cute looking N64 game, I would be really surprised if there's no horror hidden in it. Like, it's legit for realsies, cute and wholesome the whole way, and there's no secret to a horror world with hyper realistic blood and teeth and eyes. I would actually, that would practically be a jump scare with how rare this is. Because at this point, I'm kind of really oversaturated with the, remember this? Now it's horror genre. Now, the minute something is considered public domain, they will do something horror with it. Like, if only it was creative. But no, you can tell this was done for the money. Here's my favorite example. Okay, Popeye. Popeye, they made a horror movie about him. And he was like this mutated child. Like, he was born with the arms. Like, he was this mutated child, he was bullied, ta-da-ta-ta, you know the drill. And now he just kills people. But I have read a while back a horror story, a horror comic with an evil Popeye that kills. But they actually used elements of Popeye's actual story. So I don't know if they didn't do it here because they did have access to the old hag. Because I'm pretty sure the old hag is not the public domain. But the horror story that I read had Popeye kill people because he had been dead for a long time and his corpse was puppeteered by the old hag. So he was not in control of his own actions. He was literally a zombie. But you have to admit, it is a more interesting story than just he was mutated, he was bullied, and now he kills. Because then that implies that Popeye is still, like, quote-unquote, just a person. Maybe it's the more supernatural thing with the comic that I just told you about that makes it more interesting. Or, like I said, the fact that they actually used elements from Popeye's canon story that actually made it interesting. Instead of being told time and time again, mindless killer, because slightly offended. I'm looking at you, Blood and Honey. Because that's basically the plot of Blood and Honey. Like, no, it's different, because in Blood and Honey they killed because they were starved. Well, clearly they didn't starve that much because they're still alive now. Any of you guys as tired of that trope as I am? Like your childhood memories, but evil! Like, look, I grew up in the 80s. My childhood memories were 22 minutes long commercials over and over for toys. It's not that deep. Is Betty Boop in the public domain? I could look it up myself, but I'm trying to get you guys to engage a little bit there. So, question of the current 5 minutes. Is Betty Boop in the public domain? If you're into Hollow Knight, I recommend Greek, however it's pronounced. As for Kingdom Hearts, try Alabaster Dawn. No and no. Next year, Boot will be public domain. So, what do you think she'll look like in her horror movie? Is she gonna be a horribly mutated killer? Or is she going to wear like a giant mascot head? Like, on the one hand, I'm glad that Betty Boop is going into the public domain because she's cute as heck. Then I would get to draw her even more legitimately. Hey, j'ai de la misère avec mes gros mots, moi, aujourd'hui. Only some Betty Boop are public domain next year. It would be best for Betty Boop to be public domain. Yes. I mean, she's marketed to hell and back. But I am worried about the eventual horror story. And I don't want to even call it a horror story because it's all the same. Mascot is evil, kills people. That's it. That's basically what they did as soon. The minute Steamboat Willie fell into public domain. The Fleischer brothers were underrated. Ditto for Popeye's creator, Elsa Seeger. Oh, Fleischer is amazing. With that technique, with the rotoscoping. And when they had these 3D backgrounds that they would rotate behind cells. I saw the video. Like, they put a lot of work in their cartoons, and it frickin' showed. Like, I have this huge DVD set of old cartoons. And you can tell that some of them, like, they're supposed to be public domain, but you can tell that some of them were not public domain. Like, at the time this DVD set was made, it had a lot of Fleischer Superman, Betty Boop, Popeye, some I didn't have already on VHS. And then it has Pigs in a Polka. Not quite public domain yet at the time, and I'm pretty sure it's still not public domain. But in order to circumvent that, they simply took out the original title card and put in like this really basic, like one color, Times New Roman font, Pigs in a Polka instead. That was known as the rotograph. The Moldenhauer brothers also used that for Cuphead, for that extra authenticity. You can tell I was really young because I wasn't trying to hide behind black clothes at the time. Another person in animation I consider underrated is Will Vinton, who worked with Michael Jackson and co-created the California Raisins. That would be stop motion, wouldn't it? I think he also worked on that one music video where I think Michael Jackson turned either into a wolf or a rabbit, I'm not sure. Been a while, like with everything else. Claymation to be precise. Jackson Turner. Rabbit. Thank you! I was like, which animal? When I say it's been a while, eh? Well, we're almost at the end. Just gotta fix the text and add the washi tape background and we'll be done for today. There's one thing that's been misinterpreted in animation, it would be the concept of sincerity. It is the characters that should be sincere. Yeah, well, sincerity has no place in capitalism. Sadly. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for a great show, Shiro. Your comic looks awesome. Thank you, Paul. And that's why AI bros keep pushing. I learned that from a world famous animation historian, Michael Barrier. And that's why AI bros keep pushing AI. It lacks sincerity. It's a polished product, but that polish is surface only. Because you know what they say, polish a turd, it's still a turd. As usual, Paul rises from the deep to bless the finished comic. I mean, it's true, it is what you do. Like, Padre Dominum, nice comicum. And that's another problem of culture hustle that I don't digest too well. If you're working, you're not supposed to be having fun. If you're having fun, you're not working right. You can work and have fun. And I am terribly sorry, but I do not find AI image rendering fun. And I, as usual, am stuffing my face. Well, you're hungry. We're gonna look. Oh, we have 5 people today. Woo! I missed the squid avatar today. Yeah, as soon as Stream Avatar works normally again and it doesn't mess with my audio, Stream Avatar will be coming back. I just don't know when. Yeah, everything looks the right color. Alright, we're good for today. So, I'm gonna put the screen down here so I have a chance to read it. And as with every end of stream, we're gonna give extra special caramel drizzle, rainbow sprinkled, chocolate syrup thanks to our supporters: Ember B, Paul K, Son of His, Sir E, Uttered, Bad at Multiplayers, Matthew H, Blossis, Laura S, Corb Z, Artsy Tanuk, Jeff B, and our part-time supporters, Super Dude at 808 and Rocket Mouse. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. Next live stream is going to be Sunday, October 26th. At 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Hope you guys have fun watching me draw this elephant. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all. And bye-bye.